I've heard a few magicians drop out too already. I've
Like
heard
quitting magic in general, period, or just quitting
for
the
now, I
whole.
guess, because they
Oh,
see no way of making it. What's up, guys? Welcome. Slightly Smoking live stream here on Instagram. I'm your host, Jack Murdoch, and today's guest is Tam Vo. Tam Vo is an awesome magician, great guy. Can't wait to have him on here. Here he is.
Magic Classics. Watch two poker chips, white and black, white and black, black here, white here. If I squeeze, black, white here, black here. Oh man, if I squeeze again, oh god, they switch. Ah, you got it. Hey Jack,
What's up, man?
can you hear me okay? By the way,
Yeah, I can hear you as long as you don't like fumble with it. It would be like, but it
okay,
sounds
right
good.
on. So, how's the lockdown treating you?
It's been fun. It's been interesting. I think it's definitely a weird time that I'm enjoying as much as I can. Trying to be
Right.
optimistic and just having a good time. Honestly, doing this, I've been connecting with so many magicians in the past month and a half, now almost 2 months. I've been doing this. So like,
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I seen that. You had Laurel, Andre on too, so
yeah,
that
I've had
was
all the
cool.
trio now. So now you're the final one.
Yeah, last one.
So let's dive into your life, man. Actually, I don't even know your backstory. What's your story? How did you get into magic? And like I always ask, like, what was the first magic you saw as a kid? Like, it doesn't even have to be like a real magician, but what was like magic to you?
The first trick I saw was from my dad. It was a standard key card principle,
Nice.
and then I'm pretty sure he did it really, really bad. But either way, it pulled the
It
crap out of
worked.
me, man. Yeah, it worked. I'm like, how the hell is he finding my card? I was like 6 or 7 years old, you know. And then I saw Lance Burton on TV.
Ooh.
Uh, man, I think it was his very, very first special on TV. This is when he did a special at Caesar's Palace. And man, just his are you familiar with his Physimact, the candles and birds and
Yeah,
all that?
yeah, it's amazing.
Man,
I thought it was the
I
most
just
badass act when I saw it too. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, how the heck are these making all these candles appear, all these doves appear?
right.
And then my dad asked me, "Do you want to do magic?" I'm like, "Heck no! That's like the stupidest question you're ever asking me. I'm not gonna do magic." you know. And then when I was in high school, I had a friend. He did a trick. It was the was it that Tenkai card vanish, where you just do this, where your hands like stiff as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I thought that was pretty obvious. Like, dang,
The
cool,
four
some magic
fingers.
sucks. Exactly. I was like, man, cool, some magic sucks. I don't know why would anyone want to do this kind of crap. And then you see it on TV and stuff, but it's kind of hard to believe. Like seeing David Blaine, yeah, it was amazing, but it's like, how do you really do this in real life? It's kind of hard to believe. And then my dad bought me the UFO from Houdini's Magic Shop.
Yeah, that was the first one for me too.
Yeah, nice.
I wasn't a magician. I just got it for fun. I was just like, I just remember.
Yeah, so I opened the package, really thick string, wax, a really flimsy playing card. I'm like, what the heck, this is like the
Yeah, it's
dumbest
always
thing.
a
You
cheap
can't,
playing card.
yeah, exactly. You can't spin that thing around at all. And then, I threw it aside. I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was retarded. And then he actually took me to the Houdini's Magic Shop in Vegas, and I actually saw that performed live. And this guy, he was amazing with it. He was making around his hands, the body, and I'm like, I know it's a string, but
It was
it
pro.
can't be a string, if you're really good at it. There's no way it's a string. And
Well, that's
then,
cool. At first, you denied it, so you didn't really think it was a string. Wow.
yeah, yeah,
It looked
there's
too
no way it
good.
can be a
That's
string.
cool.
That's if you're good at it. If you're bad at it, then it's pretty obvious it's a string. I've seen a lot of bad guys with it.
That's true for a lot of magic. Yeah, you'll totally be turned off by it because you'll be like, oh no. But then you'll see a guy in
Yeah.
a master's hands. You're like, oh yeah.
I didn't start magic until I was like 18, 19. So I was a late bloomer. And
But it,
then
like, I mean, it just feels like it. I mean, because there's some great guys that started when they're like 30 or like what, but
yeah,
yeah,
like I heard like David Stone started super late.
yeah. When did he start?
I think he started because he was a teacher at the time, so I want to assume
He
that
was a
he was in his
teacher. Oh, I
20s,
didn't know.
30s. Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I know he started pretty late. From what I heard Juan Tamariz started pretty late too. I don't know if that's true or not. I guess like
Yeah,
the advantage of starting late is your mind's a lot more mature. You
yeah.
know how like the adult mind thinks a little bit.
You could see
That's
that with the other magicians that started when they're young, and they got that like kind of homeschooled attitude,
yeah, yeah,
cultural
exactly.
like inept
hmm
sometimes.
So yeah, I started pretty late. I joined the Magic Castle Junior program when I was 18, 19. Did that for like a year and a half, and then I started getting when I was 21. I got my first official week at the castle. It was a terrible week.
Uh,
I was so nervous working that place, and then the ball just kept on rolling. So
Dude, what year was it? You first started?
I think it was like 2008, 2009, around there.
Nice. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're around the same
So
time. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't know you sooner. That's awesome.
yeah. So, oh, somebody said he saw me at the close-up room. TK T
T card.
cards. Oh, nice. A small
Nice,
world.
man. So
Yes.
it's close up magic then you really got into then. Did you dabble with any much of the stage? Because you talked about Lance.
I mean, I wanted to work with birds, but yeah, I'm really bad when it comes to taking care of pets. So, so
Yeah, I don't blame you. I hear they're kind of
yeah,
tough to deal with. I don't know if I want to do it.
yeah. I mean, like the only animal I really use in a performance is like a goldfish, you know, and then I have a hard time taking care of a goldfish already. So imagine a bird.
Right. Yeah. It's the closest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those effects that one always has to produce a live animal, like a rabbit, of course. Uh,
hmm
it is pretty magical, even appearing a person. So I guess doing that is almost somewhat cooler.
Yeah, but something about making like something like an animal in your performance, for some reason
Yeah.
people remember it more than anything. I remember there was one time I was busking out in Santa Monica, and then I was new to busking. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was trying to gather a crowd, and then like about 100 yards that way, I see a huge crowd, and I went over and I looked. Dude, it was like a little dog doing tricks and just collecting money from everybody. I'm like, you can't compete with an animal, you know?
It's totally true. I mean, there's people out there busking too, just walking around with their iguanas or snakes, or
Yeah.
they have their dog, of course, doing tricks. I know there was a guy in New Orleans that did that. That played the drunk dog that'd be laying on his back with all like the
Oh,
beads.
really?
And this guy would bank because every walker he had all the Mardi Gras beads and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah,
he
you
just had
just
the
can't
dog
you
laying
just
on his
can't
back.
compete with it. You can't compete
It's
with
true.
it.
It's true. He'll take over. Actually, we would have
Yeah.
to wait in rotation to get the pitch. He
Oh
was
yeah.
doing the pitch of rotations of magicians. It's mostly magicians or like a juggler or a sword swallower or something like that sideshow. And then there's
Uh-huh.
now this guy with his dog competing with us. Basically,
Yeah.
he's doing
Can't
really
compete
well.
with a dog. I should bring a
I know
dog out when I'm
Chris
busking.
Mayford talks about that, and he had a rabbit just sitting at his table, never used it, so it gathered the crowd. They're like, oh, and he put the rabbit away and
Oh
started his
really?
show. And then he'd put it back out at the end of the show, out of his hat and all that. But people would know because they'd be walking by and it'd gather interest, and then you'd get money. He'd actually get money from people petting the rabbit.
Yeah, I'll definitely try that next time. Oh, and then how's the girlfriend doing? She good?
We're doing good. We've been going through isolation. She's staying in Philadelphia. She's going to be coming back in like a month, and then yeah, she'll be good.
Okay. Hopefully she's safe, healthy
Yeah.
out there.
No, she's stoked. She's got like her own place. She's basically built her own little magic studio. She's able to do her whole like. She does hula hoop magic, so she's like playing with the hula hoops in this.
Oh,
big
nice. Good for
room.
her.
I'm like stoked, dude, stoked. She's like, I'm ready. I don't want to leave. I'm like, cool,
hmm
stay as long as you want. That's one thing I'd like to do because now that she's doing more magic, she's showing me stuff. I'm like, show me that. I want to learn
Cool.
that. Now she's teaching me a lot more, which is really cool. So I do like that. It's always good to have like friends or people in like relationships just to share. Like in the beginning, we have
Yeah.
our things like our mom and dad or brother or sister, whoever we're with, or that one friend that's just like, all right,
hmm
Like my brother, he's so desensitized by it. He's like, okay. But he has to be like,
Right, right.
that was good. How about you? How's the lockdown been treating you?
Work wise, because I do magic for a living. I do nothing else,
Yeah.
and that's been rough, obviously. You know,
Yeah.
just like anybody else, you know, gigs can cancel left and right. You know, so I picked up like a part-time job temporarily just for, you know, some income until you can start performing again. And then, of course, you have all the time in the world to practice. But the only problem is, like, for me, I work practice, I can only do so much without a crowd. Like, I have to get out there, test the timing, the technique, and
Yeah.
etc.
And because
You
you're a
know,
worker, you need that time to
yeah,
work with them.
yeah, you need that feedback. So, like, I can only do so much behind a mirror before it gets good or bad. And then yesterday, I had bad news. I jammed my thumb. How can you see that? Now it's all black and blue. Yeah, so this thumb's like immobilized. I can't move it like at all. So there goes my practice sessions.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
unless I'm like a Renee Lavon all of a sudden doing everything one-handed. So that's a completely different story.
Right? I just saw who put out a good one-handed routine. It was Haropong. Is that his name?
I
Haropong?
think so. Yeah, I think it's like from Singapore or something like that.
Yeah, he did a one-handed great Ace production. I thought looked really cool.
Yeah,
You guys
so
should
I'm
check
out
it
of
out.
commission right now. Yeah, I should definitely look that out.
What do you think about the magic too? I think it's interesting to see where it's gonna go after this.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are doing virtual stuff, which is great. Don't get me wrong, you know, because I miss that interaction with people, you know.
Yeah.
But the only problem is with the virtual stuff, I can't get physical with people. Sometimes I get pretty physical with them too when I'm performing.
Let's get physical.
Exactly.
Physical. As humans, we miss that human touch or that physical touch. And
Hmm.
then even body language. There's a lot. We can see our body language or facial expression, but not our whole body. We only have like severed heads or torsos.
Yeah, that's like a
And really,
huge thing with magic
everything
too.
does speak because you'll notice
Hmm.
how we'll like even talk over one another. You do that in the Zoom. It's like you take a break to talk like one person at a time, and then that break happens, and then three people jump at the same time because they just don't know. But when you're in a group of people, you have that body language.
I heard a lot of guys like Helder Gimrez. He put out a virtual show too. I think it's like
Yeah.
25 people per session or something like that, and I want to watch it. But he's like selling out left and right, man.
I was thinking about that. I was kind of waiting for some people I would want to see, and I have seen a lot of great stuff already. But I think it's inspiring to see people like that do that. And you're gonna probably see some good quality work. So
Yeah, man, he's good.
a really good way to raise the bar and to adapt. I mean, I think we all have to. I think it's gonna like go up a level.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, all these guys and all these young kids already, you know, they're doing like crazy stuff behind the camera already. So
Yeah, visual magic's gonna be huge, more so
Mhm.
than anything now.
Yeah.
So what are your greatest accomplishments in magic? When you felt like, yeah, I made it.
I still think not. I don't think I accomplished enough yet to say I accomplished. You
You're still
know,
working, yeah, you're still going.
yeah. It's always
Not
just
yet.
more room to improve. I guess my proudest moments is, you know, the castle, of course, being like a regular worker there, not just like a one-hit wonder and you're done at the castle.
Yeah.
I've been consistently working there at least once or twice a year, doing a full week in the close-up room, so that's good. Oh, performing internationally, that's,
I was gonna
you
mention
know,
that, man. I know you got to do that.
yeah.
Cool.
I did that twice already, both of them in Germany, so that was fun.
Was that just a client that just randomly hit you up through marketing or?
Well, the story goes back, man, I want to say this is back in 2011, 2012. I was doing table hopping in Santa Monica for a restaurant. You know, didn't pay much, but you know, it was a good place just to practice. So then this gentleman, he was a USC music professor and he loved the magic. So he walked in, I did some stuff for him, and then I taught him a little bit too. A few years later down the line, he wanted to do a magic and music performance. So we did that, I think it was like LA. We did it in LA. It wasn't that great because I wasn't fully developed yet as a performer. And then later on the line, we did it again. It was a lot better. And then he wanted to take that performance to Germany. That's where he's from. So then we got the ball rolling, and luckily we tried it out last year. The turnout was great. And then we did it again back this January, 2020, just a few months ago. So it was fun. It was fun. Just like the language barrier was kind of difficult, you know. I remember the first time I did it, my lines didn't hit. I would say something, and I know 90% of the time I would get the laugh, but all of a sudden the room just got like really quiet. And I'm like, nobody, really? Okay, I have to change it up now.
Yeah, like that went past them. Oh shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so did
Hmm.
you try to do some more like stuff that didn't require much talking?
Well, for me, I'm a big mouth. I love to talk. So
Yeah.
what I realize when you perform for international people, they find it hilarious when you talk in their native tongue. It's I don't know what's so funny about it, but they find it funny, you know?
So you learned some German?
Very little. Very little. Like this one part in the performance, you know, I'll just do like a bill change. I'll change like a 20 to a 1 or whatever. And then I just simply say, you know, Auf Wiedersehen, and I walk off stage. And for some reason, they find it hilarious. I don't find it funny, but for some reason, they find it hilarious. I'm like, all right, it's gonna stick in from now on. So
That's the cool thing about doing shows for people from different parts of the world. They're like, you get that culture shock, and you always get those different reactions, and things that work over here may not work over there, but then other things
yeah,
that never work here work there, and it's like, what? That's what you like? Okay. It reminds me when I first did like a kids show, like you would think some things would work, but like they like more like this sort of stuff. That's interesting that they like that. So
yeah, it's a lot of experimenting. A lot of experimenting.
Well, that's super cool, man, to get out there and go to Germany and see where magic takes you. It just opens up so many doors. I always say it's like a passport to the world. I mean, I first heard that about busking, but magic in general, because you could travel and do it anywhere. I mean, close-up magic, too. I think that's so versatile.
Oh, yeah. If you get to work out the pockets, do like a full-on 20, 30-minute show, man, you're a pro. What's that one saying? Pack big, play small, or pack small, play big. And then I always tell Laura, I tell Laura this all the time. I go, I want to get, my new saying is pack big, play small. So you bring like you bring like 30 pounds of like gear, but you only do like one card trick, and you know, that's what you get.
Right. It's like Gonzo kind of does that. He just packs a big punch in his talk. I think that's where he gets him. But his magic, it's just he does pick up some balls. That's it. Sometimes that's where it's like he's more of a comedian than a magician in that point, because they're more waiting to see what he says next.
I learned a lot from the guy just watching his tapes over and over and over.
So who are your like top influences in magic?
Oh man, the list can go on and on and on. But let's
top
see.
Top 5. Let's just do
all right. See, Lance Burton #1. He's top 5. I don't know where to rank him, but he's one of them because of his Physimac is so well choreographed. It's simple. You know, it's not complicated. You know, it's easy to follow. You know what's going on, and magic. So Lance Burton, David Williamson, because #1, he's a great technician, but #2, that guy is quick when it comes to like lines off the bat. You know,
very sharp.
Yeah, that's why I wanted. So that Armando Lucero. Yeah, you ever seen Armando Lucero work at all?
I don't think so. No.
Oh man, he does like probably the best coin matrix ever that I ever seen. Yeah, every time he does something, like he believes that magic is real, which I think lately a lot of magicians, they don't really believe in their own magic, you know? I mean, yeah, we know real magic doesn't exist, but when he does it, actually he believes that he's actually really doing real magic, and that just sucks you in like deep.
You know, I think in the beginning a lot of us have to go through the trickster phase, and then to be like a real magician, then you have to kind of know like, okay, I can make it like real magic if I really believe it's magic. I mean, that's the whole part of the showmanship. It's great to make him tricks in certain moments, but then it's even greater to make it magic in certain moments.
Right.
So you really believe, and that's how you sell it. And it's all about the greatest show. You can tell, you know.
Yeah, you know, he actually believes what he does is real, which is great. Then Tommy Wonder.
Message me, like, I'm interested to see that coin matrix stuff.
The only issue with this stuff is he doesn't really publish anything at all. But I'll give you his name. You might find some stuff like here and there. After him, Tommy Wonder. He was, I love watching Tommy Wonder work. Very intelligent, very smart man when it comes to the theory, the thinking, the misdirection behind magic. He likes to build a lot of his stuff, and his stuff is not easy to build. You know.
I know. That's the little fun part, though.
The fifth one, oh man, I'll put 2 guys for #5.
Okay.
In other words, I'll be 5 and 6. Gazzo, of course, a big influence when I started busking years ago. Just, you know, watching him learn how he interacted with the crowd, how he properly asked for money, which is a big deal, I think. He knew how to offend people properly. And then the other guy, he's a stage manipulator, Yoo-Ho Jin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really do any card manipulations because I'm terrible at it, but I can watch the guy all day long do card manipulation. It's like beautiful. It's like art, you know? So I can watch that guy all day long. So,
Actually, yeah,
and
that's
it's
one
not.
thing that Shelby does a lot.
Oh, really? She does that
I think
stuff?
she's gonna probably be really good with it, but she's been like working on it for a while. She actually got me back into it because I see her. I'm like, all right, she does it with both hands, like.
Dang. Yeah, I struggle enough doing it with one hand already, so it's not easy.
You mostly do close-up magic, or
Yeah,
anything
I do
other?
mostly close up magic. I do a little bit of stand up.
Stand-up,
I don't
yeah.
really, yeah, I don't really do a lot of stage because I'm not really not that good at it. Yeah, I mean, I eventually one of these days I would like to have a bird act down. You
Yeah.
know, I gotta ask myself if I can take care of like 4 or 5 birds first before I actually commit to it. And then, comes the training and then the feeding and then the grooming and oh, geez, it's like a baby. Yeah, it's like having your own child.
You ever try to do magic with your cat?
No, and once I pick them up, they start squirming and squiggling, and no, I can't do it. Yeah, I've seen some guys actually put them like in like those illusion boxes. I guess they're tamed enough where they'll sit still, they won't move.
Yeah.
But yeah, my cats cannot sit still.
I think it depends on their personality too. They definitely have a mind of their own. It's like I think I'll sometimes forget that. It's interesting. I mean, it's kind of like how humans are in a way, but there's some way to break through, but not always. You gotta let them. You gotta like work with their defects, you know. And I know L.A. Dogfather. He's a dog trainer, and he works with dogs and is a magician.
Oh, nice.
So I did like a dog trainer too. We did work on a trick. We had a dog. We only had the dog for a few months though, and so I think working on the dog would be cool. And I haven't seen many magicians do that. But you could easily mark a card by putting treats on the card. And they'll always go after that card. That's like a super simple principle that I think people overlook. So they'll sniff out, you could force this card to someone, and the dog does the trick.
Oh, nice.
So it was learning how to train the dog to sit still and like do the right commandments before it went after the card.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, working with animals, it does kind of show that you train animals too. Like if you're producing doves, like, oh, you must work with them. I mean, they fly back to them.
Most of the time, at least.
Have you seen some dove shows? I've seen a bad dove show. Have you seen anyone that like the doves didn't comply?
I mean, this one time at the castle, I saw Dan Sperry. He was doing his dove act, and then he produced a bird, and it didn't fly back. And all of a sudden, he just looked at the bird and just like flips the bird off, and everybody laughed at that. Everybody laughed at that too. But I know most of his birds, come back. It's just sometimes you just can't, predict nature. They do whatever they want to do.
I saw a guy too at the castle, and it was actually a great dove magician. I forget his name.
Oh, Amos Lefkovich.
Yeah, so I saw him.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they all, like, 3 or 4 of them just flew away. They never came back. And he
really?
Smiled, and big old smile, still just doing it. And I could see him kind of, like, looking at the doves because he has this, like, big old smile.
Yeah, Lance Burton had a story where the dove flew out, landed in a lady's lap, laid an egg, and the dove flew back on stage.
No way.
Yeah, he
like
talked about that story.
Miracle,
Yeah, I was like, what? What are the chances? But
that's a great story, even as a publicity thing. Like that's a great story. I've been studying some old stuff too, from like publicity stunts as well as like Harry Houdini and the needle swallowing. I love the needle swallowing. I know you did the needle swallowing too. And it starts in the book, in the beginning of the Magic and Showmanship. He talks a little bit about it, how it's just a publicity stunt. And the picture, you see the picture of him in front of the officials. The needles are like this big, they're huge, and there's like hundreds of them. You've seen that famous picture.
Yeah.
But you believe that those are the needles he swallowed.
Of course.
Wow, they're like regular small little needles, and so they're a lot smaller. So the pictures were taken like beforehand and used to gather the crowd. So I mean, that's really shows how great Houdini was with publicity and getting people to come. This guy basically was a street performer and just one of the greatest guys to commence a crowd like everywhere he went.
Yeah, like I heard, his voice drew in the crowd big time too.
I don't know where I saw the video, but it's like a recording of Houdini's voice. It's pretty harsh, I think of Gazzo when I think of Houdini's type voice. It's like it's got a bark.
Yeah, but I heard he was a performer, man.
Yeah, it's so what have you been doing with magic in this time?
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, like there's stuff I have been working on, but like I don't know if it'll work yet until I actually really test it. We'll see if all this practicing actually pays off.
The same thing. I was at the point where I did so much practice, like at home already for the mirror, for the camera, whatever, and I'm like, I need to go practice for real people. And then boom, isolation.
Ever since I jammed my thumb too, like I don't know what to do.
Right.
Like yeah, there's like one-handed stuff out there, but in the real world, I'm never gonna do one-handed stuff. I know myself.
And that's good to say.
Yeah.
That once you do know yourself, you stick into a certain specific of magic and what you know you want to do. And yeah, I feel the same thing. Like if something happened in my hand, I don't know if I would do that. I think I would probably do stuff that doesn't involve my hand then. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
What about sort of things? What was like the most discouraging things in magic? What are the challenges you're able to overcome?
You know, doing a bad gig that happens.
Or like when you
You
do
know,
a trick for someone and you flash and someone calls you out, you have those moments where you're like, oh, I'm not doing that trick anymore.
in the beginning, yeah, but at the same time, that's a good thing that they told you that you flashed, you know?
Yeah,
And also at the same time, that really helps you, work on recovery, which I think is a big deal.
yeah. So take
You
the
know,
good out of the bad. Yeah.
yeah. And that's all experience right there. Back then I didn't know how to, I want to say like make a comeback is the right word, but let's say you have theory on how this trick works, and I can somehow divert your theory into a different direction or something like that. By being quick, with your lines and such. And of course, busking for me was discouraging when I first started. I don't really consider myself a busker per se, but I consider myself a person that did it. I'm not like hardcore like you and Laurel and such. I just did it. But it was very discouraging at first. You can't get people, you can't get money, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to quit. I don't want to do it. I just want to go back to doing easy gigs where it's like for sure money. But once you get that flow by doing it over and over and over, then you can get crowds no problem. You can get the money no problem. But yeah, busking was a big discouragement to me because it's completely out of my shell.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. It took me a while to get over. I mean, I also got nervous over doing it like a gig. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? But I think that's good because it shows I just love it a lot and I get freaked out by it.
Hmm.
It's only until, you get in that flow state. So once you start the first show, you're like, now I can do the real shows.
Yeah, that's how it is at the castle too. Because you do 4 shows a night, and usually the first show, like if I have guests with me, I tell them, don't watch my first one. Let me warm up real quick.
Everyone says, yeah.
Yeah, I can watch my second, third, and fourth one. But the first one, I just need to.
Yeah, second and third are getting your best shows.
Yeah.
What do you
Let me
think?
get the jitters out.
Is the second or third? Which one do you think for you?
It's a coin toss. I don't really have like
Right in between those two, huh?
Yeah, the first one gets the jitters out. The second, third one, I'm warmed up. The fourth one, I'm tired.
Yeah, it's fully like that. I think it is 2 or 3, definitely. Like, cause the second show could be sometimes one of the best shows because you get the first one out, you already know it. The third one, like, okay, here we go again. I'm ready. I've done this. I got this. Fourth one, yeah, I've done this. I'll do it again.
Usually, when it comes to working castle, Sunday is your very last day there. And by like Sunday, my body language just changes. I'm like hunched over. It's like I really don't want to ask you guys to pick a card again. You can so tell my energy level is like so low, and I don't want to do this right now. I just want to go home and sleep.
That's the energy level. Like to have the energy to do shows sometimes is.
Yeah, I drink a lot of caffeine before each performance, so I constantly tell the bartender, "Give me Red Bull, give me Red Bull, give me coffee, give me tea." Yeah, I'm constantly sipping on caffeine, which is a bad thing to be honest, because sometimes I have too much, I start getting jittery. It's a win-lose situation.
Right. Yeah. What do you think of magic after all this? What's your prediction?
It might be, I don't know, like some people they might be in self-quarantine even more. There's some people that are so paranoid about the quarantine, like they don't want human contact whatsoever, which is fine. I have nothing against it. At the same time, there's some people I think they want to get back into that human interaction again. So I really don't know, but I know virtual magic is going to be a big thing for a while at least. Yeah, but other than that, I don't know.
Is that something maybe you think you're doing?
I would like to, in virtual magic, because I did attend like this little workshop for this guy. He does a lot of those Zoom conference magic shows or whatever. But the only problem is once you're performing, you have to mute everybody so you don't get all that background noise from everybody. So the problem with that is you can't feed off of. If somebody says this, you have this one line. Oh, I can respond to that real quick with this great joke I know that's in the back of my head. But the problem is you can't hear them, so you can't really respond. I guess that's like the disadvantage of it. But the good thing is everybody gets a really good view of your magic. Everybody has a front row seat.
It's a little bit of a challenge, definitely. The camera's unforgiving. It catches everything.
Very, very unforgiving. But we'll see. I mean, I've been thinking about like writing like a 20, 30-minute performance down. I just got to figure out what I want to do, what I want to say, because that's a different story versus performing live. I mean, it's a way to make money nowadays, right? So why not?
Yeah, I mean, people are already doing it, so it's inspiring to see that. Because for me, I was like, I don't know, like, is it gonna work? And I've heard a few magicians drop out too already.
Like quitting magic in general, period, or just quitting
for
the
now,
whole.
I guess, because they
Oh,
see no way of making it, and some guys are just not about the ritual magic.
man, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I get that. It's gonna create a lot of different new things out of this. So in a way, it's just another transformation. But I really want to get on board on the idea of working, in the frame. There's a lot of guys that do the Instagram stuff. That's kind of, cheeky camera work. So we'll just narrow it down. The last thing we kind of went through it. I always ask like, what's your prediction? You got your mentalism down. And last parting advice is, and what advice do you got? Whether it's from you or something that's been passed down to you.
Advice. Oh man, I think this isn't really advice per se. I got it from a client after performing. After performance, he walked up to me and he said, the best part about your performance was that you were a human being, which at first I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And then, it took me a while and it clicked. Magicians, I think some magicians, not all, they hold themselves on a pedestal, which I believe that shouldn't be the way to go. Be human. You're human, yeah, you're not better than anybody else just because you know how something works and they don't doesn't mean that you're better than them. I'm pretty sure that they know something that you don't know. You're an entertainer. You're not trying to like be better than anybody. You're there to entertain them, have fun with them, be human.
Right on. Man.
So that was like
that's the advice I believe in.
Yeah.
And right now we're all being human. So I thank you for being with me.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Thank you everyone else for joining.
All right. Hopefully we see each other in person next time.
Yes, we'll be jamming soon. Thanks again, guys. You can always check us out at slightly smoking.com. We're going to be putting out new designs very soon.